if you eliminate the leaders, and if they were loved, they may not like you very much. Harry seldom has more lives than a cat. Welcome back to Structure. I'm your host, Lion. I'm joined by my co-host, Mystery. And as
What
always,
up? What
don't
up?
forget to like and subscribe. But before we get started, Mystery, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about season 2, episode 9 of Foundation. What an episode! Absolutely crazy. I can't believe we're one episode away from the season finale. Please don't say it.
One
So
left.
let's get into this episode. Let's go, Lion.
And without further ado, let's go. Yes, indeed. I can't believe that there's only one episode left before
There's
the
so much.
season.
There's
only
so
one
much
episode
to do.
left.
Yeah,
It's like
there's so much to do. How are they going to do it in one episode?
how are we gonna wrap this up? And it's and let's get this out of the way. This whole season has been fantastic.
Yes.
It's been excellent. We've been giving high scores almost every single episode. Every single episode has raised the stakes. The last episode I said was probably the best one of the whole show, season 1 and season 2. We got one more episode left, and I'm just hoping, just like the last season, season 1. I hope they wrap this up in a way that is just phenomenal. But what I want to do to shift things around, let's rate the episode from the get-go. You already know we're gonna give it a good score, so we might as well start with that. So let's rate the episode. Let's put in a rating. You guys can join up and do the same in the comments. Let us know, what do you rate the episode? But let's start with Mystery. Mystery, what do you rate the episode?
This episode had a lot of storylines, a lot of things going on, a lot of excitement. It left us at a cliffhanger, which I hate, and so, but I enjoyed the entire episode. I'm gonna give it 9.5. What are your thoughts, Lion?
It was a fantastic episode. This episode dealt with three things. It dealt with Demerzel's past, which is essentially Cleon's past. It also dealt with Gale, Salvor, and Tellum. And it dealt with the present. It dealt with Day, Demerzel, and Harry Seldon and the First Foundation. So every single arc was pretty good. I had a detractor with the Gale and Tellum story. That kind of fell off the tracks a little bit. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't at the same level the other two parts of the episode. I'm giving this episode a 9. Still very good episode. Last week's episode was a 10. This is a 9, respectable. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Let us know in the comments. But let's get into the middle of things. So the episode opened with us getting a look into how Demerzel became the ruler of the puppet master, as we've been calling her. We've been calling in this show, we said it multiple times, that Demerzel seems to be the puppet master behind it all. And it comes to be that she's a puppet master, but a puppet master by proxy. She is being forced to obey the commands of Cleon the First. We saw Cleon as a child discovering Demerzel in the palace, befriending her, listening to stories, and it took decades for their trust and their friendship to grow, their love, whatever you want to call it. Eventually, when he was at the stage of a brother Dusk, he put something inside of Demerzel that forces her, compels her to not harm the Cleons, to obey his commands, and to not ever leave. So she gets her freedom, the thing that she was yearning the most. You got to think about it. Demerzel, has been around 18,000 years based on what was said. I got some stuff to say about that. And she's been in prison for many more years as well. And the first word she uttered was like, "Can you set me free?" or something along those lines to the young brother Don, or Cleon the First. That was the first thing she said to someone, the first person she's seen in a long, long time, while she was being trapped in that prison. And the freedom that she wanted, she kind of got that freedom, but with shackles. She's shackled down. She cannot do exactly what she wants to do. This does prevent her from restarting that war. So Demerzel may not be that puppet, that evil puppet master we thought she is. She's just following programming. Mystery, what are your thoughts on the opening of this show?
As you said, it gives us a lot of history, a lot of backstory, a lot of things that we didn't know about the origin story of this Foundation series. The fact that Brother Day, and actually he was Dusk at the time, put in programming for Demoiselle, and she said that that was cruel, right? She said, "This is cruel. I'm not really free. I'm trapped." And since then, for over 400 years now, she has been trapped. She's been programmed to do something for the Empire, which she didn't necessarily want it to do. She said, "What if I just leave?" Right? So,
And
in a
she had
way,
her. Let's talk about.
huh?
She had a chance to to take care of Cleon, because when he opened up the cell, right, she didn't have the programming inside of her. She
Exactly.
was she had the opportunity. She didn't take it, and
Yep.
once he inserted himself into her, over that thing, right?
She
Not
became
himself.
phrasing, but yeah, she became trapped, and she became sort of like a slave to his bidding for all of eternity, like she said. This was unsettling for her, and I wonder two things. One of them is, if this is the case, if Demoiselle is trapped by her programming from Empire, why hasn't she convinced or programmed one of the other empires to give her new programming where she could leave? That's one thing.
She can't.
And
The thing that's inside of her, it commands her to never harm Cleon or not disobey him. She's compelled to help in every single kind of way. By
but
doing anything that would affect that, she goes against those orders. She could never do that.
no, but remember, and this may be because she didn't have the programming before, but she was working Cleon that whole time during his
She
entire life,
was.
right? She was just working him, right? Spitting
Yeah.
game, blah blah blah, befriending him so that she could finally one day, and she said it so that she could finally one day be free. And now that she's somewhat trapped, she's gotten more liberty, but she's still somewhat trapped. Can't she work him some more? Like, convince this one guy, hey, this is what you did to me. This isn't right. I've been
It's
here
against
for
programming.
400 years. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, and just do that. Like, I would think that, but that's not conducive to the storyline. So I
So
get
you're
it.
saying that Demercell is that chick at the club, or that chick in your life that some of you guys may be aware of, that she's giving you just enough for you to kind of like get hooked. She's giving you a little bit, little by little, little by little, little by little, but she's never giving you the whole thing, right? She's
Except
just
for in this
leading
case,
you
she's
on.
giving it all. But go on.
She gave the whole shebang bang. But I
Yeah.
think the parallel here, in my opinion, is that Demercell is trapped by her programming the same way the Cleon clones are trapped by their destiny or the dynasty that they follow. They are trapped by
Mhm.
not having all the memories, which was one of Cleon's last commands. Don't give them full memories. That's that.
Right.
Everything comes into play there, so they are trapped as well. So Cleon the First is the true puppet master behind the scenes. Whether he's alive or dead doesn't matter. He's moving the pieces even through Demercell, and she would rather not have to do that, but she's trapped by that programming. Unless someone can remove that dot from her, and I guess I have to assume that part of the things that part of her programming is that she cannot have that removed. She cannot tell anyone to remove or convince someone. I think Cleo thought this through. He was very thorough. And he even said, like, I wish I could have heard that before I compelled you to say that. Because he fell in love with a robot that no other woman was suitable. And she is the catalyst for him to start the genetic dynasty. Because he didn't want any other woman but the robot.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. Very wild. Very peculiar for those times, for sure.
Another thing that was very interesting, there was mentioned that Demercell's being around 18,000 years, 18,000 years old from Earth. And shout out to
She
Sharper Color
doesn't look
Blogger.
a day over 25.
No, the software updates is the She's like running on what Windows? We're on Windows 11 right now. That's
Yeah,
Windows 12. She's like on Windows
possibly.
1090. something along those lines. So we see that that Earth was referenced, which puts a lot of things into perspective. And Chopper Color Block has been alluding to this. He said that her little makeup kit, her little repair kit that she carries, has the planets of our solar system. So essentially, this lets me know that Foundation is based on our Earth right now, but many millennia in the future. So essentially, this is the evolution of humans populating other worlds. If our adventures in space were to pay off, find the ability to survive a different planet, this is what would happen. Humanity would just populate everything because we don't see any aliens. We assume some of these people were aliens. They're all just humans that have populated different planets and different dominions. So we see that there's a reference to Earth. It makes me more curious to see what happened to Earth. Why did humans leave Earth? Why don't we reference Earth a little more? And robots came from Earth. You know, we know that Isaac Asimov wrote the compilation of short stories called I, Robot, right? Which there was a Will Smith movie that somewhat referenced that. I
like the movie.
Love a spin-off. I would love a spin-off, like a prequel to all of this. This is so interesting. This openings, when we get to see what's happened before the story we're looking at, is very engaging. So I'm loving it so far. From that, let's move on to go ahead.
No, I was going to say I totally agree with you. I mean, this series is like Spielberg quality. I'm enjoying everything. I mean, it does Apple have a juggernaut on their hands or what? Like, the answer is yes.
Their shows are amazing. This has been a great show. It's been amazing. Lee Pace.
Killing it.
Lee Pace right now. This guy is probably one of the best actors of our generation. He's portrayed this character, Brother Day, right? He's portrayed Cleon the First. And you can tell he's different every single time. He is different every single iteration. Whether he's just Cleon the First, whether he's Cleon the 13, the 10, the 12, the 16, the 17, you name it. Every single time you can... This particular Brother Day, he went from being very demanding, very like full of himself, to show insecurity, to show vulnerability, to show weakness when he's making the wrong choice, to show himself his ego when he's trying to make up for his mistakes, when he's full of himself, thinking he has everything under control when nothing is under his control. Everything is running amok. He's dealing with a mess, and he believes he's making the right decision at every corner, while he's creating the scenario for him to be removed from power by his own actions. And you can tell by his facials, by the way he moves, the way he stands, his bravado, everything that this guy does, every single detail to his performance have been amazing. And Lee Pace, he's been killing it. Amazing work. That's my opinion. One of my favorite actors so far. We have Gale, Tellem, Salvor. We had a great action scene with this. We talked about the possibility of Tellem being the mule. I was wrong. Tellem is no more. Harry somehow is alive, and he took care of her, right?
How is he alive? How is Harry alive? Where did he come from? Is Harry a robot? What happened in that cave?
Yeah, how's Harry alive? This guy was revived by Kale in some other planet. We assume literally that he was a robot. No, he's a life form. But this guy, we saw him, or they let us believe that he drowned. They made us believe that he was buried. What happened to all of that? I'm assuming we'll get explanation in the next episode, but I have to believe there's got to be something at play or someone to help him.
Yeah, I thought that he was dead because we saw him floating in the water. Because originally I was like, no, he's alive because he's a robot and he'll survive, right? But now you see him, or last episode you saw him floating in the water. I was like, whoa, wait, he really was gone, right? And then he just pops up. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, what's going on with Harry? Is he alive? Is he not alive? But he's alive on a different planet, but not so much. So Harry's alive. Yay, I'm happy. But
and
how?
He's alive while they take the other Harry away. The other Harry is gone now. The one that was on Trento, or I got a theory that I'm gonna share with you guys in a bit. But this particular section with Gale seems very weak. I expected more from the chosen one.
Yes.
Salvor saved the day. Great action sequence.
Save the
She
mama.
had to overcome seeing the face of her loved one. She had to remove all the oxygen. And I actually thought there was gonna be some kind of romance story happening between that dude and Salvor, but I guess that didn't come to fruition.
Nah, you
And
knew
then
that
we
was going to happen from the boat scene. But go ahead.
and Talon. You know what's funny? Talon kept making all this illusions. Talon was making all of this scenarios for people to play with their minds, and she played herself. Talon, you play yourself because you believe that the girl was projecting some kind of illusion, and it was actually Harry that smacked you square in the face. I have to believe there might be some kind of traitor in her midst. That's how Harry survived.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, anything's possible because Harry, he's playing on different timelines and he's seen a lot of stuff, right? So he's calculated this. And the real question that I had, which we were talking about, is this the second foundation or is it not the second foundation? Because the way they left it, it seems like it's not the second foundation when the whole
Yeah,
time we're believing that it is the second foundation. So what is it?
if you take out the two leader people of this community, I would think they are not gonna like you very much. However, however,
Yeah.
if you eliminate the leaders, and if they were love, they may not like you very much. However,
Exactly.
we may get a hint. We may have gotten a hint when Gale or when Salvor was put in the water. We talked about that the one guy that was had a tear. Maybe Tellum has been forcing these people to obey her or to see her in certain light. We tell them that. Do you guys think that this whole community of Mentalics is gonna wake up and accept Gale and Salvor?
I am your liberator. I am your liberator. Praise me. Yeah, I don't know. The way that it seems right now, no. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of unanswered questions from this episode. Like, what did Demoiselle see when she held the what is it? What's the name? The crystal, the cube. Jesus,
The Prime Radiant.
Thank you. Forgive me for Prime Radiant. And so, what did she see then? There's a lot of unanswered questions, which is what made me so mad, because I was checking the timer the whole time, trying to figure out like how much more time do we have in this episode to explain things, and unfortunately, not that much time. See you next week, guys. So, I don't know.
But you did hit something in the head. I believe you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, last week, that Belle may be the one rebelling against the Empire, and we have the scenario in place right now for Belle Riois to rebel. We talked about in this show that Kerr may be killed by Empire, and because of that, it's gonna fuel Belle Riois to go against the Empire, controlling the largest fleet or the best fleet under Empire's command, going against them. This could be the beginning of the end for the genetic dynasty. I think we may have the beginning of what was prophesied by Harry Seldon with Psychohistory.
Dude, you talk about that, right? So let's say it just this scenario. You have Belle Riois. Is he going to rebel? If he does, when is he going to rebel? Because you got Demoiselle, who's now convinced that she needs to correct her mistakes with the existing brother Day, right? So, what gets set in motion first? How does this play out? You have I would rather do this when
is she getting rid of brother Day?
Not there.
Yeah,
I don't know. And so there's so many freaking questions, and only one episode. Is it 2 hours? Like, it's so. What the hell?
We can only hope it's like at least an hour and 20 minutes, and I want to have Apple, please. I am hoping. I cannot wait. We can probably look at the runtime, I think. Yeah. I'm excited for next week's episode. This was a great episode. We saw the Terminus get completely wiped out. We saw how the Foundation crumble. We did get a nice moment for Paulie.
Yeah, we saw their leader get stabbed. Go ahead.
Paulie got a nice moment. Paulie, have mentioned before that he's already accomplished everything he wanted, and he's ready to move on to the next thing that's facing his life. The one thing he never got to do as a kid was plant his flag closest to the vault, And
Right.
as
That's a good
Terminus is being
observation.
destroyed, we see the last thing of him is just planting that flag and closest to the vault. A true follower till the end. A good send off for Paulie Verisov. We saw that Hover Malo
Yes.
challenge Brother Day. We saw that the constant it was you know broken hearted by seeing the foundation just fall. Her whole belief system is gone now.
Yes. And also, Homer Mallory is in love. And also, Brother Dusk is trapped, right? So, what happens there? Like, does Demoiselle confront him, and does she like reprogram him or replace him? What happens there? So many open-ended situations.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
like the ending of the episode was she
mhm.
realized that someone's in there and she needs to go. And man, this season, this episode 10 is said to be amazing. There's no way they can just drop the ball in the last
No,
episode.
which means,
And even
yeah,
if they
they're not
did, I
going to
think that's
drop the ball.
okay.
They're not going to answer everything. There's going to be some unanswered questions on the next episode, and that's not what I'm looking for. Answer all my questions so I can sleep well next week. Come on.
There's so much to talk about this episode. I wish we had more time, but don't forget, we'll be back next week with another episode with season finale for Foundation. We are excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. With that said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Thank you so much for everyone leaving comments, the likes. We love the feedback. We love the engagement. Help our channel grow. Have your friends subscribe as well. Mr. E, do us a big favor and take us home.
Thank you for joining us. We will have more videos coming out. Stay tuned because we got the season finale for Foundation. It's going to be exciting. Let's talk about it. Until then, I was going to say I'm Brother E, and this is Brother
E,
Lion, and we are,
on structure.
and we are. There you go.